Welcome, everybody, to Lovington Baseball right here in the heart of Lovington, New Mexico. We are on the campus of Lovington High School, and it is part two of the doubleheader that started on Friday that got delayed. And of course, there was every single game in Lee County got delayed because of weather, one sort or another. Usually it was lightning. Started off with lightning here before we got the big hailstorm, and it looked tornadic as far as the winds were blowing it just across like we saw in the Wizard of Oz, but nevertheless so. And of course there was a lot of leaves that were blocking up. By the time it was all over with, the field was covered with ice or hail. So they went ahead and decided real quickly to go ahead and continue this on the Monday, which of course is right now. But yeah, luckily the both teams went into the locker room before the hailstorm had started. We were still here in the press box when it happened, so I had to write it out. Wasn't too long though, and here we are today on this great day as we have a tie game right now, 3-3. We don't have a scoreboard, so I'm going to make sure that we have the score correct, as well as the outs and the strikes and pitching count as well. Not pitching count, but everything else. So yeah, we're going to have a couple of lineup changes for Lovington. Not sure about Artesia, but nevertheless, though, we'll keep you apprised as that goes along. So 3-3 is what we've got. We're in the bottom of the third right now, and as soon as this thing gets started, that's exactly where we're going to get into it. And pretty much everything has stayed as quo, status quo. But for the most part, though, still, you know, a big winning streak for Artesia against this Lovington squad. In fact, it has been 5 games since, and 1-33 is what their record is in the last 34 games. So Artesia owning this team, but Lovington so far fighting and keeping it to a tie game of 3-all, and that was with just 2 innings for the Lovington Wildcats. So we're going to see what they can do as we continue on with the game here in just minutes. Not much other than add, other than maybe just remind you exactly how these two teams got here. Of course, Artesia being number 1 in their district as well. Of course, both teams in the same district. 15-6 is their record, 4-0 for district play, and 4-game winning streak is what they've got. They have been struggling on the road, 5-5, so they are 500 right now. And Coach Jackson Bickle just trying to make sure that his team gets out of here with a couple of wins, as we do have the doubleheader going on today. Nice weather, though. I think actually it's going to be, it seemed like Artesia started off strong in the first, and Lovington got back in the second and got some momentum with their 2 runs. So not sure who it's going to take advantage of this, as far as both teams looked like they were going to be hitting very well. And then, of course, like I said, the weather pretty much got in the way of it all and cooled both these teams down. And sometimes a break gets you to get you re-strategized. Otherwise, sometimes it does not. And you have to get back from the beginning and just make sure you don't get a little rust that has formed, whether it be from rain or just a couple of days or maybe even the weekend. And hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I know I had an interesting one. I had another rain delay game. Actually was delayed a little bit, but they did resume it. That was in Jow. Hailstorm we hit there. Bigger hail than was here in Lovington, and that did quite some damage for the game. But for this one, like I said, we're going to see if the teams are going to get back to their stride, their swing as that was. As in the first, it was 2 runs for Artesia, especially after that first one that was hit from a home run from Galindo. And that's Frank Galindo, and he knocked it out of the park to the left. Looked pretty good, and then it was 2-1 at the end of 1. Then Artesia was able to score 1 in the top of the second, and Lovington was able to score back again to get that to a 3-3 game. Third inning, top of the third, and Artesia stalled and wasn't able to get anything going. In fact, they had a strikeout. They did get a couple of runners on, just could not get anything going as far as the score. So it was the bottom of the third, and that's, like I said, when the lightning strike happened, we was hoping for just a delay. Everybody else got a delay, but we did not, simply because of that big storm that hit us. Going to take a break, be back in a moment, and should be getting some great baseball to come as we are live and set to go on here at Lovington against this number 1 Artesia Bulldogs squad. Be back in just a few. All right, we got the lineups okayed, and we are going to get started here in just a few. Talk about Lovington for a moment. They are at number 14, and looking at the bottom end of the playoff spectrum, I know it's pretty much set a guarantee that Artesia is going to be in the playoffs. That is given. 11-10 is what the Lovington Wildcats come in with, and they still have a couple of games to go. That'll be against Portales, and that'll be, of course, May 1st and May 2nd. The May 2nd is going to be the doubleheader. That'll be here, though. First one's going to be in Portales. So, again, they get a doubleheader both at home for their last two tries, and maybe that home streak of 5-2 is what they've got for their record. Maybe that'll encourage them to get some wins and a better chance of being able to get not only in the playoffs but a better standing in the playoffs for Coach Christian Cruz. But again, though, of course, they got to play this game, and looks like they're going to start a little early. I had a feeling they might, simply because, you know, this is a second day of a game that should have been happening, or should have happened, or was planned to happen anyway on Friday, and both these teams still have two more to go. In fact, Artesia has to go and play, I believe it's Goddard. Yeah, it is Goddard. So they're going to be playing Goddard again. Single on the 1st, May 1st. That'll be at Goddard, and then the last games will be at Artesia, the Bulldog Pit, and that's going to be doubleheader for them. And for Artesia, they have faced Goddard, and they have a record of 33-40 against. But Artesia does have a 3-game winning streak against the Rockets, so they do have that to look forward to. But again, can't work on past. You got to play in the present, and that's one of the reasons why you get these streaks. Just like with the Portales. Also, Lovington struggling, but not nearly as bad as they do against Artesia. 18-35 is their record against them. And they've had a 3-game losing streak against the Portales Rams that goes back to 2023. But they were able to win that game. So they lost last season completely. But the year before, it was 14-2. Lovington was able to beat the Rams during that time. So you never know exactly. That's the reason why, again, that's why they play these games. Of course, we'll have those games covered for you, whether it be on Lovington, on HobbsAmerica.com, or on YouTube. So we have Juan Sepulveda trying to come up here and get back into it again. I remember he was in the box when the lightning struck. And that one actually is going to be a nice little lightning strike for the first strike as it goes across and just clips the corner for that one. So we've got everybody set up. Here we go. This one's going to be hit. And it's going to be hit high and shallow in the left field, and it's going to be caught easily. And that should be by Campbell.
Now coming up to bat for the Wildcats, number 9, Ethan Gonzalez.
So first out of the long-awaited third inning, and here we go. As once again, that was caught by, that'd be Campbell. Second batter up should be Gonzalez, Ethan Gonzalez. Curveball on that one is going to be strike 1. So we have this thing going, and on the mound once again is going to be Paredes. Another fastball, and it's going to be strike 2. And once again, we don't have the luxury of the box or the scoreboard, so we have to do this all our own. Swing and a miss, and unfortunately swung on that one a little too early and got struck out on that one for out number 2. All right, so Kemo Ochoa is going to be coming up next. And for Ochoa, he was only up once before. He did get a single, was stranded at first. So he's going to take that one a little low, and it's going to be a ball. For a second, I thought it was going to catch the corner, but it did not. So 1-0 is the count so far. And we're in the bottom of the third right now, 2 outs, nobody on. Here is the pitch, and it's going to be fouled to the right and towards the bus. Didn't quite make it there. So luckily the bus is all right. Trees were going to be in the way anyhow, so guarded by the trees. We've got a count of 1-1. I think he lost that a little bit as it went high for the ball. So we've got a count of 2-1 right now. Still 2 out, nobody on. And we are in the bottom of the third to start this one off. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be a definite nice cut, but didn't make any contact for strike two. So once again, the center fielder is going to hit this one, and it's going to be going to the left this time, and unfortunately right to the left fielder Campbell. And that is going to be the third out. So indeed, that's going to be not what the Wildcats wanted to see. They saw Artesia basically not be able to get anything going on in the third, and that's exactly what happened with Lovington as well. So we're going to go to the top of the fourth. It is all tied up at 3. We'll be back in just a moment right here as we continue on the Lovington Sports Network. All right, so we are back as we're about to get underway. Got the pitcher warming up once again. That is going to be, looks like Paredes. And I believe everybody else is pretty much at the status quo. So it'll be Sepulveda at first, Gutierrez at second, Madrid at third. Actually, sorry, Gonzalez at third, Madrid at shortstop. Weezer left. Come on, Ochia at center, and Lujan is at right. As team gets around and bumps fist with the pitcher. Of course, that is Paredes. Coming up next, that would help get the right side, and that is going to be, yes, indeed, Hoffman, the DH. Going to hit this one quickly as it is to the left and caught. Nicely done by Weezer. And so far, both sides showing some nice defense, as that was going to be out number 1 for the top of the fourth. So one out already as we're getting underway. Quick out. And coming up next is going to be Charlie Campbell to the third. Campbell flow out to center field, or just between center and left field last time up. That has been a while though, so pretty much a new game for both sides. That was going to go across and clips the corner for the strike. Yeah, we had that wind here helping out both sides. Not really a hitters or a batters wind. That was going to go across, bounce, and will be a ball. 1-1 is the call right now for Charlie. He has one out to deal with, nobody on though. And like I said last time, flew out. And that was in the second inning. So quickly goes to 2-1 on that one with that last pitch. I believe that Charlie has had a home run in the past, so they're guarding against that as that one goes across, and that is going to clip the corner for the strike. Watch it go by. Ewan's count up at 2-2 right now. It's a really good game as far as a good day for weather-wise for baseball. Hopefully it'll stay that way this time. Here we go. This time swung on it as he reached for it. It looked like it was going to be a ball, but instead will be strike number 3 for him. And overall, let's see how many he's got in this game. Be the first one, of course, for today. And overall for the game, the 5th. So 5 strikeouts for Paredes. Coming up next is going to be Beauregard. That one's going to go inside and high for the ball. Beauregard had an infield out the first time he was up for the second out of the second inning. Here we go with another delivery inside. Actually had to move on that one. Looks like he did get out of the way of the ball, otherwise it could have hit him. So it'll be ball number 2. Just backed him off of the plate as he is actually kind of tight on it. He's on the inside of the box. Sometimes pitchers do that. Sometimes they do it. And sometimes it's just an accident. That one goes to the other side and does find the corner for the strike. 2-1. And sometimes they try to get the batter to get back a little bit, but I don't think that was the case. That one's going to be delivered and fouled back, gets over the fence. And it's going to back, hopefully won't hit anybody, as that's going to be now a count of 2-2 once again. So Ken Beauregard. Reached that one and hit it out to second. It's going to be caught by first base, but unable to get there in time as Paredes was able to get over there and get the ball on first. But again, the throw was not in time, so he will get that single nicely done for Beauregard. And so with 1 out, actually 2 outs, I should say, there will be 1 on. Coming up next will be the bottom of the order. That'll be actually the top of the order. And that'll be Galindo, who had his homer in the first. Pretty much that the first ball that was thrown to him knocked it out of the park. That'll be a little low for ball 1. So with 1 on and Lovington hoping to get out of this inning. They've got 2 outs already, but 1 on, and the home run hitter, Frank, is up right now. It looks like he's going to steal right now as the throw is to first, and it is possibly in time, but it didn't get in the glove. Instead will be a nice steal attempt and taken by Beauregard. It's counting out 1-1. So Beauregard with a 1-1 count right now. As he gets back in the box, going to look back to second and deliver. Going to hit that one, and that's going to be into the lights almost as that goes foul to the right. And nobody in the area, so does land without an incident. But it does make it a strike, a long strike. 1-2. Paredes would love to get another strike on this one. It'd be the 6th of the game, 2nd of the day. And let's just see what he does with this one as that one goes and unfortunately loses the grip on that one and hits him in the back on the shoulder. And instead of having to worry about that home run possibility, he's going to hit him and give him a first. So that means first and second are covered right now. And we've got coming up next, Jet Fuentes. And Fuentes had a single in the first and did get the infield out in the third. So hasn't been able to get anything going so far. Hasn't been able to get on base. Actually, no, he did get on base with a single in the first, but was caught stealing. In the early goings, he was the first runner to get caught stealing and the first out. That'll be a high ball There's a go to 1-0. Trying to see if maybe the Fuentes would chase on that one, but Jet stood firm. That one's going to go, well, actually it's going to find the corner on that one. I thought it was a little wide, but says that is going to be a ball that is going to be a strike, as it was watched go across without a swing. It was a little off. Looked like it was outside too far, but instead clipped the corner. 1-1 with 2 on, 2 outs. Artesia trying to make the most of this one as we are in the top of the 4th with 2 outs. That one's not going to find anything at all, so ball. We're going to go to 2-1. Possible pick off at second if, nope, going to go ahead and back off that second base. Throw it. I mean, another one just outside for the ball. Going to make it 3-1. So it'll be interesting to see if Paredes is going to go ahead and pitch this one, try to see if we can get a quick strike, make it a full count, or are we going to get a walk? We're going to get a timeout instead, as it's going to be Fuentes. It's going to back off for a second, get regrouped, and here we go again. Got a small crowd here for this game as well. Not as big as it was on Saturday or Friday. And here we go. Outside, looks like he lost that one too a little bit, and we'll take it to the full count. Actually, I had it at 3, but well, now it is the full count. So I missed a strike there. So there we go. Unfortunately, the ump is right near the pole, but that will be the walk, and walk to load the bases. As Jack Byers is going to be coming up next. Struck out twice earlier on Friday. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and have a meeting on the mound already, as those last couple of pitches were not up to par. Like I said, it looked like a couple of them slipped out of his hand just a little bit. And could have, yes indeed, we're going to go ahead and have a pitch switch. So Paredes is out, and let's see who's in. Looks like it's going to be Patrick Sanchez, the senior. Actually, no, it's not. It's not. It is Delian Pacheco. So Pacheco warming up. We'll be back in just a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Sports Network. Actually, I read the wrong one. It's Gonzalez. Ethan Gonzalez is going to be taking place. So I do apologize about that, Ethan Gonzalez. So that could mean that Paredes is going to be at third. I want to double check to make sure that is correct. Well, here we go. Is ready to pitch the first one. Going to get across for Jack Byers. And the first one's going to be the ball call. So Jack Byers once again struck out twice. That was with the last one. This is a new pitcher, and that one second one goes across for the strike. Found the corner again, so similar style looks like so far, but catching the far corner. So we'll see what happens. Similar, not quite catching at that time, so fastball on that one, and gonna be just bit outside for the ball. That one's gonna be swung on and hit to the left, and looks like it's gonna be a dinger, and it is. And wow, that is gonna be 3 RBI home run for, that was Jack Byers. So after 2 strikeouts, he rings that one up for a home run hit. It's 3 RBI to boot. As he distances this one, gets it doubled up. 6-3, top of the 4th, and first score of the game for this day anyway, as we continue on from Friday. So coming up next, looks like it'll be a continuation. It'll be Pacheco. Dalen Pacheco. First one inside for the ball call. He is playing at first today. And 2 quick pitches will make it 2-0. Oops, that's right. That one's going to be fly into the center field. Looks like it's going to be just enough for it. Well, tried to get it, but instead could not. Or maybe he did. No, he did get it, but not before it hit the ground. So a single on that one for Pacheco, as it had gone out to center field, but not near enough. It was actually the shortstop who tried to get it, but instead could not come up with that catch. So coming up next is going to be Usherwood. That one's going to be hit up high. Looks like the catcher is going to try to catch it. And actually, it'll be between catcher and first base. And it was Pondo and Sepulveda who could not get to it. So it'll be just a long strike. And that'll be again for Usherwood, Brant Usherwood. Struck out in the first, was able to get on with a walk in the second. Oh, did it again. So back again. 0-1 is the count right now. 1 on, and that's going to be hit to the left, and it's going to be, yes, it'll be fair as it goes all the way back to the wall. Will be taken by Campbell and actually Weezer as he gets it back, but not before. It looks like it's going to be a pinch runner coming in. That'll be Warren, Derek Warren coming in to run. So Warren at second, as that was a nice double by Usherwood. And Pacheco all the way to third. That's going to be fouled as it goes for the first pitch to the right and back out of play. So once again, Jet Wimmeyer is up to bat. He got on first after a fielder's choice in the third and struck out in the second. That time around, it's going to look like a ball. So second and third covered, and a fastball goes across for the strike. So it'll be 2-1 for the count. So that was the strike. First 2 were balls. And that's going to go right over to second, and that was caught by Gutierrez. So damage has been done, but is able to get that one quickly for the third out as it's caught once again by Gutierrez, the second baseman. That was just in time as they were going to go back to the top of the order for him as far as Hoffman was going to be coming up next if he had or if he could. But we had the big, huge home run, so that was 3 hits were allowed or given up for Artesia. 3 runs as well. Had 2 left on base and no errors. Go to the bottom of the 4th. And the game has changed. It's a 3-run lead for Artesia, 6-3. Be back in a moment as Lovington comes up to get the bats going right here in Lovington on the Lovington Network, whether it be on HobbsAmerican.com or on YouTube. All right, we are back and are ready. Lovington up to get ready, and it's going to be Benicio Lujan, right fielder. And last time that he had bat, he had an infield out. First one goes across, and it is across the pike for a strike. Nicely done, as that was smoking hot. That one just got out of hand there, just a moment. So it'll be even up at 1-1. Thank you, everybody, for being here on this nice Monday afternoon. Pre-evening, as some people would say. That one was quickly done across. Going to take that one high, and it'll be ball 4. So the walk on the first for Lujan, goes him to first, will be Adi Perez coming up next. Last time he first up at bat, the only time up at bat, he had an infield out. 5-3. See what he can do this time around. Nice little curveball there for the strike number 1. So 0-1 is the count right now. 1 on, bottom of the 4th, and we've got no outs. Looks like now the wind has changed to the batting side as that one goes over into the gap to the left. Gets it over the head of the shortstop. That'll be Fuentes, and just in front of Campbell. So 2 on, nobody out. As that goes, Lujan is going to be at second. And Paredes is going to be at first for a single. So 2 singles have started this thing off. And that's what Lovington, the Wildcats, wanted to see to answer back from those 3. As we get a little dirt around the area, too. I was afraid of that. I saw it, a big dirt devil, as I came up here earlier. And it is Madrid, the shortstop, who is going to bunt. And it's going to be just to the backstop. So first one, strike. See if he does the same thing again with another bunt attempt. Checks second base, goes ahead and does the bunt, but it's a high over his head, as that one was chased in by Pacheco. I was going to see if he can get that one. Instead, the count goes to 1-1. So looks back. Looks like that is going to be a nice strike. Oh, and hits him in the face as he threw it back to him. Doesn't seem to have flinched any at all, but nevertheless, so didn't expect that throw as fast as he got it. So, yeah, definitely didn't want to see anybody steal, but on the other hand, didn't quite warn his pitcher. Ooh, I know that would have stung a little bit. I know I would have been ouching, but I'll probably feel it later. Right now he's just playing. Swung on, and strike number 3 already. So, yep, so
coming up to bat for the Wildcats, number
Strikeout
4,
is the
Jaden
first one
Gutierrez.
for today. But overall, he's had 3. Top of the order now as we go to Jaden Gutierrez, and he's going to go ahead and hit this one hard to mid-center, but that is going to be the center fielder who's going to be able to take that one over his shoulder. And all the runners have to go back again. That is going to be Whitmire who was able to get that one.
Ryan Weiser.
So out number 2 already, and a bit of a rally. It looks like it may stall with 2 on, 2 outs. And coming up next is going to be Ryan Weiser. Weiser struck out the last time he was up. He did get on with a hit by pitch and was able to get the first score of the game in the first. So looks like he gets hit again. So some things don't change as second time not in a row, but second time in this game that he's been hit by a pitch. So we'll load the bases on this one.
Now coming to bat for the Wildcats,
Oh, that's
number
right.
12, Micah Pondo.
As we fix this. So we are in the bottom of the 4th still. We have Lujan at 3rd, and second is the pinch runner, I believe. First one goes across for the strike. Oh, there we are, 8. And Usherwood gets that one to foul off, but nevertheless, there will be so we have another pitch as he is trying to get through this quickly. That one goes outside though. Did not chase it, and that'll be a count of 1-2. Still have the bases loaded, but 2 outs. So any hit could get an RBI and get the Lovington Wildcats back in this game, but that'll be a strike 3. And that'll punch him out as he has gotten the last couple of strikes in this, or strikeouts in this game, in this inning. So even though they loaded up the bases, left the loaded bases at 3, no errors, had just 1 hit, no runs. And we have now 3 runs, 4 hits, and 6 left on base for Lovington as we go to the top of the 5th, and it will be a score of 6-3. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com or YouTube. All right, we are back to action as coming up first is going to be Aiden Hoffman, DH for this game. Flew out to left field in the last at bat and did walk and was able to get scored in the second. So just a bit onside on that one for the ball. So with a new pitcher on, Gets 2 balls to start off. And that is delivered high. It's going to be catchable. It looks like it could be, and it will be. Hondo is able to get that fly out just behind him for the foul ball and out number 1. Wanted to get that easy out and definitely did, as he was able to get underneath the ball as it was hit high in the air for the out. So yeah, he had a strikeout last time. First one was to near center as that curveball goes foul for strike 1. So 0-1 and a little faster deliveries on both sides now, as they are energetic and ready to go. That one just does not find the corner or anything at all, so it'll be a ball, 1-1. Appreciate you guys watching again. 6-3 is the game right now we've got, and it's the top of the 5th. Continuation from Friday as we get another pitch. That one goes just low enough for a ball. I believe we're at 3-0 right now. No, 3-1. Oh, now it's 3-1. I was ahead of myself. Oops. Oh, that's right. Looking at the wrong one. Here we go. So, all right. I thought he had a ball there. Instead, it was a strike. 3-2, and that's going to be the ball call for the strike, ball 4. And he's going to take his base at first. So 6-3. We've got 1 on right now, but 1 out. I keep looking over that scoreboard, knowing that it's not working, but it is a bad habit. So the walk to first for Hoffman. Oh, that's right. Quickly done, and that is going to be Beauregard who hits that one. Nicely done for a single. Campbell was the one that hit the, or got walked. And will be at second. And Whitmire was the one that flew out. All right, that's right. So up next is going to be top of the order, Frank Galindo, who did get hit by a pitch, did have the home run in the first. Over his head, and that was not a good throw, as he knew that too. In fact, it's going to probably cost them a run. So an error on that. In fact, he may have hurt his back on that one, and still the play is going. No, he stopped at third. So Beauregard, with that extra throw, goes to third base. But nevertheless, though, a run comes across. That'll be Campbell. And one of those, again, that had just, you never expect that kind of play to happen, but it does. Or did, actually. And just like that, we have another run score across. Caught both of us off, as that one is going to go to the left and will be just in front of Weezer. But that'll give them a hit and a run coming across, so that'll be an RBI for Frank as he gets to first. Nicely done, as coming across will be Beauregard. And instead of 3 now, it is 5-run lead for Artesia and the Bulldogs. And frankly, that's what some people thought might happen in this game. But, of course, that was what we thought on Friday. I thought today would be a little more even on both sides. Stealing on that one as he hits this one high. And will be taken care of by a shortstop, and he does get it as the runner has to go back to first. Tags up in time. But the throw wasn't even delivered from Madrid. But he did get that catch as a couple of players had converged on that Fuentes hit for out number 2. So far 2 runs have come across, 2 outs have been made. Coming up next is me, Jack Byers, who had that home run here just in the last inning, 3 RBI home run to be exact, and has 1 on first as he's about to take second, or try to anyway, but that's going to be popped up high and could be an out again for, that time it's going to be taken by Ocha from center field. So got in on that shallow hit and was able to get the 3rd out, as it had been exciting for a moment for Artesia fans, but that does end it, though they do get 2 across. Also left 1 on. That makes it 2-5. 5 runners have been left on base for Artesia. They have taken advantage of it with 2 runs coming across, or 3 actually. So we have an 8-3 game right now as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Lovington trying again with their bats. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com or YouTube. All right, so we are back into action here in just a second, as coming up first is going to be Juan Sepulveda.
The score is 9-3.
And Sepulveda has had, well, he got on first in the first inning with a fielder's choice, but was caught out at second and then flew out to left in the 3rd. So Juan Sepulveda, want to see what he can do as he gets his first at-bat, or next at-bat, and does hit it, but just a little foul to the left. So first strike on that one, long strike, 0-1. And that's me high for the ball, so 1-1 is the call. Oh, Pacheco went, oh, that's right. That one's hit high, and it looks like it's going to be just in the reach of second base, played by Beauregard, and that is going to be out for Lovington, as that one is the first out of the inning. So 2 flyouts for Sepulveda. Coming up next is going to be Ethan Gonzalez. Last time up, he had a strikeout. And that was actually in this today. Swing on and missed, as that was a low ball. That'll be strike. So looking good so far. Oh, that was a swing and a miss on that one. Nice cut, but missed everything on that one for strike number 2. Gets another one just outside, though, low, as Gonzalez did not chase after that one, so ball call on that. 1-2. So Usherwood delivers that one, and it's going to be, yep, well off. I thought it was going to be in, but nope, well off to the left for the foul ball. Keeps the count at 1-2. That is a nice one as it went across. Strike 3 on that one, and another strikeout for Artesia as batter gets dejected. It was Gonzalez who got struck out on that one for the out. Coming up Ocha. And he is going to be trying to see if he can do better on his. He did get a single in the first, didn't do anything with it, and flew out near center in the third. But 2 outs, nobody on, and Lovington kind of running out of innings. Wants to get something with this one, and that was going to be a ball. So that was quickly done at 2-0. So 2-0 for Ochoa. Now and though, unfortunately, it goes straight to first, and then he gets it over to Usherwood. I believe that's Usherwood. Indeed it is, and he's able to get there in time to get the third out. So 3 up, 3 down for Lovington, as that one basically goes for a 3-1 for the third out. So nobody hit, nobody got the run, and nobody left on base with no errors as well. We're going to go to the top of the 6th, and it is going to be a lead for Artesia. We're back here in a moment right here on the Lovington Network, whether you're on HobbsAmerica.com or YouTube. All right, coming up to bat for the Artesia Bulldogs is going to be Dalen Pacheco, playing on first base. Helped on that last out. Now he's going to be up to see what he can do with his bat. First one is going to be across, and it looks like it's going to be a ball. So 1-0 is the count right now. Oops, there we go. And we get even up already at 1-1 with that last pitch. So quicker count or pitches. That one's going to be just outside for the ball. And 2-1 now for Dalen Pacheco. Last time was able to get a single, but looks like he didn't quite get into it. Got left on third and has been stranded in the first. Actually, he's had 3 singles. As we have a wind that is going to be affecting the hitters. So they have a nice wind to carry the ball. But this time, though, going to get the third and fourth balls. Going to walk Pacheco, Dalen Pacheco. Get him on first, no outs. Top of the 6th, we've got coming up next, Brant Usherwood. Usherwood has had a double in the last, also got walked and struck out in the first. Okay, there is a pinch runner for Pacheco. Exactly, and let's see how this works out as he is ready to bat for Brant. Nicely done. Couldn't get that quite in, though. It looked like he put a lot of effort into that one as it goes across. Just couldn't find the strike zone, and will be a ball. 1-0 is the count. Going to be the same. That one's inside just enough now. Got a count of 1-1 as that goes cross inside for the strike. Yep. Bickle back there giving direction. Goes inside and hits it will be fouled back for a count of 1-2. Was on the inside just a little bit as he was able to make contact for Usherwood, and it is Pacheco who is throwing right now. Going to go ahead and get a steal attempt. See if that gets in time. Looks like it was, and he was punched out at second, as it was Cazares who was the pinch runner and got caught stealing. So that was Isaac Cazares who got caught stealing.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 16, Jet Whitmire.
And that is going to be, should be out number 1. That one's quick as it's going to be hit, and I think there was miscommunication on that one. As, I didn't know what was going to happen on that one. I think the first baseman thought he was going to get thrown to him, but instead had to go get it as the pitcher ran to home, or first, and instead that'll be a bit of accommodative errors on that one, but nevertheless, it'll get Whitmire at first. So yeah, just one thing, and it looked like, for example, that if the pitcher had stopped for a second, he would have been able to pick that one up and deliver it to first in time, but instead it was the other way around, and ends up nobody gets the ball to first in time. Oh, that's right, I believe. So Aiden Huffman on that one, as we do have one on, and should be 2 outs. As that one is going to be a ball, I think. Indeed, Aiden Huffman, designated hitter, last time up, had been caught by the catcher for the out. So swung on, and a little early on that one as it goes foul to the left. And that would be a long strike, 0-2. So he is behind on the count, Hoffman is. And fouled again, so timing is off, but he's still at least getting a piece of the ball. As once again, it seems like the pitches are getting a little faster. Still have another game after this one in this district battle. It's been a couple of years since Lovington has been able to beat Artesia. 33 times they have lost, 1 time have they won in that 34-game stretch. That one's going to be hit back again. Hopefully over everybody's head. Looks like it is going to be hitting nobody. Good. So count stays at 0-2. Yeah, getting too many of them fouled. So it looks like it'll be a possibility of a chase on this one. But 0-2 still. Got 2 outs, 1 on though. That'll be across. Nobody is going to swing on that one, and it'll be now the count of 1-2. Like to thank everybody for watching over on KZOR, the Facebook page. And here is another one that was inside, delivered. He didn't see it too well, otherwise he may not have swung on that one. Could have been hit, but instead hit it on the small end of the bat, and it goes foul. Count does stay at 1-2. A bit of a long at-bat for Hoffman, the designated hitter. And that one's going to be delivered as well, another foul ball. And that means the runners have to go back to first. And so it's a dead ball, so you can jog back to first. Yep, Jet is, well, he's got to have enough energy to be able to do this, and that is going to be a swing and a miss, and that is not how you wanted to go out. As that is going to be out number 3. So 1 left on base on that one, as it was just no hits, no runs, no errors. And once again, one left on base. That adds up to a total of 5 for the Artesia Bulldogs. So we're going to go to the bottom of the, actually maybe more than that, but we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th as we continue on, whether it be on KZUR Facebook page. We also have you on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Be back in just a moment. Thanks for watching. All right, we are 9-3 right now. Just got that updated score on that one. I couldn't remember if they had 3 or 4 in the 5th inning, but definitely had 4. So 9 is the score, 9-3. So 6 runs. Bottom of the 6th, and we are coming up next is going to be Lujan. Ball 1 for Lujan. Lujan last time up had a single. And it is going to be a strike on that one. So 1-1 is the count right now. And another delivery quickly swung on and missed, and that'll be ball or strike number 2. As you know, as you think about one thing and say another. So strike 2 on that one. Quickly another delivery, and a swing and a miss on that one. Struck out on that, and it is going to be. This is part of the problem that Lovington's be having. They're getting more strikeouts. The last several batters have had a strike. They've had 4 actually in the last 2 innings. So coming up next is going to be Paredes. And already swinging on as that one is delivered for the foul ball. Well, that was fair. I thought it was foul, but instead, no, it is not. So instead is able to get on that one. Nicely done. So a single instead of a foul ball. And it's on first for Paredes. So top of the order now for Jaden Gutierrez. Last time he did fly out. In fact, he has been on once and got caught at first, or actually at home, with a tag out. That one's going to go across for the strike. So Usherwood is feeling the zone right now. As we have 1 out, 1 on. That one goes over the head of, actually that's going to be, oh that's right, Jude Madrid. And keeps the count at 1-1. So we're not quite at the top of the order yet. As that one gets back and in time for the save, Paredes. Looks back once again to first, goes ahead and delivers. Swung on, and that's going to be foul once again behind us as it goes over our heads. So now it'll be a count of 1 and 2. It's already got a 1 and 2 count, 1 out and 1 on. And Usherwood again delivers, gets that strike across again, 2 out, 2 strikeouts in a row.
Now coming up to bat,
Actually,
number
no, not
4,
2 in a row.
Jaden Gutierrez.
Had that hit by Paredes between, but nevertheless, though, is limiting the bats and the ability to be able to get anybody on the bases. As we go to the top of the order now, Jaden Gutierrez. Madrid actually had struck out twice in a row now. Fastball is going to make it across and find the strike zone. Up, swing and a miss on that one, and first one goes for a strike. Second one a little high as they're looking to see about getting that runner at first. But did not steal. So 1-1 is the count. And it's Gutierrez who did not swing either. swung on that one as that one is going to be delivered foul. And they're just losing balls as they get fouled out. But it does keep or it gets the count now at 1-2. So Gutierrez is wanting to protect the plate, get something out there and try to see, because this is the bottom of the sixth. They only have one more inning. That does dribble out to the infield. Is he going to be able to get it in time? Yes, he is. It didn't really count anyway because it was dropped by Pacheco. Nevertheless, though, it is a hit. Nicely done. He's able to get there before the throw. And that does advance. Actually, that would be Paredes to third, looks like. Yes, indeed. So runners on the corners. Coming up next is going to be Weezer. And Ryan actually has been hit by a pitch. Also struck out in the second and hit in the first. And swung on and missed for strike one. So one in scoring position, but 2 outs. So that'll be across and does find the corner for the strike. So 0-2 is the count, as it is Weezer who is again down on the count. And with 2 on and 2 outs on the corners, tries to see if he can get an RBI off this hit. That was going to be low. Not wild enough to be trying to see if they'll get anybody to bite. Nobody did. And Weezer at 1-2. So once again, we are on KZUR, the Facebook page. You can catch us there. And of course, we always have these on for free anytime you want to watch them, even after the game. That one goes across, and that's going to be a nice single. This is also going to be an RBI, and that will be putting runners at first and second, as it was Paredes who was able to cross home the plate.
Now coming up to bat, number
That'll be
12,
a nice single for Weezer. And that's what they need to do, is get some small hits and try to get back in this game. They've got a long way to go as Pondo comes up next. Mike has had a strikeout last time at bat and then a infield out in the second. So let's see what he can do with his bat. First one's going to be crossed low for the ball. And again, sometimes you wonder if these pitchers are affected by the runners on base. They've been a little bit on that one, as we have a runner on first and second. Looks back at second, goes and delivers that one. It's going to be fouled, and that's going to go out of play. Yep, just beyond the stands. So nobody gets hurt, nobody gets hit. 1-1 is the count. Yes. We have sped up the throws. If you haven't caught on already. The 1-1 is the count. 2 on, 2 out. That was high. Nobody runs, so nobody's stealing. They're taking they're being patient, and now we have a count of 2-1. So that one again may have gotten out of his hand just a little bit, but 3-1, and could load up the bases with a walk, but still has some opportunities to be able to get Pondo to either hit or strike out. Want to see Pondo, though, try to see if he can get at least one runner. He does have that ability to do so. As he swings in that one and hits it, is that going to be fair? Nope, it's going to be foul and be out of play as well. So it'll go to full count of 3-2. So definitely going to see what they can do with this one. Got nothing to lose on this, as we've got one more inning at least, unless Lovington can tie the game. Have a score of 9-4, 5-run lead for Artesia in this first of 2. That one's going to cross. Did not find the strike zone, and it will be a walk to load up the bases.
Number 23, Juan Sepulveda.
So Juan Sepulveda coming up next. Juan had a shallow hit last at bat for the first out, as it was caught by the second baseman Beauregard. In fact, has only been on once from a fielder's choice in the first, and got caught at second running. So Sepulveda, with bases loaded, can be labeled a hero if he gets a couple of runs to come across. Would definitely like to do that, but for right now, though, has to face against a Usherwood, who's been pitching pretty well so far today. That's going to be outside for the ball. So ball one. As once again the bases are loaded, team is shallow a little bit, at least the infield is. That one's going to find the corner for the strike on that one. Yes, it was watched going across for Sepulveda. So 1-1. Wind still blowing strong outfield. That one goes inside, and we'll find the inside corner, and that would have been hard to hit anyway, and we'll ring up a strike. Now behind 1-2. Sepulveda wants to protect the plate. He does as he gets that one foul, though. Looks like it would have been a little bit outside. Could have been possibly a ball, but nevertheless, though, now is a doesn't matter now because it went foul. So it'll be 1-2 still for the count. Ethan Gonzalez could be next if they continue the bats. That's going to be low, and that's going to go foul to the left. So needs to line it up a little bit better to get it out to play. Of course, he wants to either get a grounder to get at least one run or possibly a nice bomb to get the runners to come in. That one's going to be popped high, and unfortunately it's going to be a shallow hit over towards second. And instead it'll be Fuentes who's going to catch that one out for the third out. And that's going to be 2 hits. Also 2 strikeouts on that one as well, but nevertheless, looks like that was nobody coming across. No, they had 1 run come across off those 2 hits, no errors, and bases loaded. So we're going to go to the top of the 7th, the final inning possibly, as we continue coverage right here. Artesia on top, 9-4. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage, whether it be on KZOR on the Facebook page, on YouTube, on the Lovington Sports Network, or, of course, we have it on HobbsAmerica.com. All right, it is 5 o'clock. And, yep, it is 5 o'clock now, and we are about to get underway on this Monday. We have a continuation from the Friday game that got delayed by weather, especially a hailstorm that came through. And now we're at the top of the 7th. We got Charlie Campbell III coming up here to start off the inning. And he was able to get actually looks like he got hit again. So hit by pitch right off the bat, so to speak, and that gets him to first. So Campbell at first. Coming up next is going to be Caden Beauregard. Beauregard had a single last time up, was able to score as well, part of the runs that happened for the 5th inning. And a bunt, but go ahead, and Campbell's going to steal. And a bad throw is going to get him to third as he takes advantage of that bad throw that goes into the outfield. So 2 steals in a row for him on that play. I think he also did that too at the last time he was at up. And on right now, 1-0 for the count. And that was low and outside. Once again, you got a runner in scoring position. And already that was a swing and a miss for Beauregard. Oops. Maybe a right on that one, but 1-2. Swings on that one and gets it into center field. Going to chase it down, and it's going to go to the wall. Bounces off the wall. It's going to be a RBI for certain. and a double stand-up. So Beauregard able to get that one back to the wall as it bounces off, and it was fielded nicely by Kamen Ocha, but unable to get to it. At least limited it to an RBI double. So that'll get it to 10. As coming up next is going to be top of the order once again, Galindo, who was responsible for the home run in the first. Just a bit outside on that one for the ball. As we get started, he did get a single last time up. That one's going to be crossed right down the middle for the strike. Looked good too, and Galindo didn't see it right and did not swing. Here we go. Swung on that one a little early and will be foul to the left. So we'll be behind on the count now as those two go strike for the second one. 1 and 2 is the count for Galindo. But that will put, with 1 run in, 1 no outs, and 1 on. That one goes across a little high for the ball. 2-2. Could be affected a little bit as the wind continues to gust from time to time, blowing into the face of the pitcher. That is Pacheco. Oh, and the back is what he delivers it to for Galindo, and that means he's going to advance to first, and that'll be first and second covered. Galindo at first, and second will be Beauregard. Gotta do this. So 2 on, no outs. Already have a run scored in. Lovington trying to get back into this game, but on the wrong side of that one with 6 runs against him. 10-4 is the score, as you can see. And coming up next is going to be Jet Fuentes. Last time flew out to shallow. Bunt attempt and instead steals. Looks that'll be an out. As, yeah, that was a, I don't know if it was a bad slide or what, or maybe a bad start, but nevertheless, though, caught, steal in. And that does get Galindo at second, as he gets to second without a problem. Throw out at third. So back to Jet Fuentes. Going to hit that one and be foul. Go right back to the backstop. And let's see what we've got here as we've got the first out. I believe it's 1-1 as that one is going to be delivered over to third. Going to try to deliver that to first in time, does, and gets the 5-3 for Fuentes. On the fielder's choice.
Next to bat for the Bulldogs, number 12, Jack Byers.
So out 2, but that does advance Galindo to third. So he's got a runner at scoring position. 2 outs though. Coming up next is going to be Jack Byers. Jack has had some success, although he struck out twice. He did get a home run though in the fourth. So that'll be a double cross for the ball. So 1 runner at third, 2 outs though. Going to be hit high and could be caught. It can be in play actually, and nope. Instead, fair ball, and as he just misses it, of course that is going to be Pando. So instead of being a foul ball, it'd be just inside for a hit. I don't know if he left. I don't know if it was the sun or what happened, but it looked like he kind of gave up on the play. I think he thought it was a foul ball, so he didn't really have to worry about it so much. But Jack on first. So first and third covered. So we got runners on the corners, and now we have Pacheco. And that is going to be first baseman, Dalian Pacheco. Going to hit that one. Actually, that is the, should say that is the relief pitcher. So that one is going to be a nice hit up the middle. And it's going to get to first. It was like a nice little dribbler up the middle, though, but escaped everybody. As I forgot, he moved from first to pitcher.
Usherwood up to bat for the Bulldogs.
And now we've got 2 on. That is actually an RBI single for Pacheco. As Brant Usherwood is coming up next. First one's going to go across for the strike. And 2 outs though, 2 on, and Artesia trying to get the lead up. They do have 11-4 now. And that'll be another one at 1-1 now, the ball call for Usherwood. And that should be Galindo, who had just come across for another run. So 1-2 for the count. And nicely done, as it is a strike. Just outside, didn't chase on that one, and it is going to be a now full count, or not a full count, but 2-2, even up at 2. Not quite full count, but still 2 on, first and second. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike number 3. And Usherwood goes down again for the second time in a row and gets that to be the 3rd out, but not before getting 1 run to come across off of 2 hits. 3 hits, actually. 3 hits, 1 run.
The score is now 11
2 left on base.
Bulldogs. Going into the bottom of the 7th.
And that'll be, once again, let me see, double check. Yep. 1 run comes across. That'll be 11-4. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. Do or die time for Lovington. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7. Actually, sorry, Crazy OR Facebook page. We also have you on Lovington Sports, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com or YouTube. All right, Patrick Sanchez coming up next to bat for the Wildcats. I believe he is his first time up to bat. Nope, that is going to be his first time up to bat. Taking place for Ethan Gonzalez. First one is going to go across for the ball. Now that one down the pike for a strike on that one. Nicely done as we get this 7th inning, bottom of the 7th started. And it is going to be Lovington trying to get back into it. Down. This one goes foul quickly. And I'll be at 1-2. So not quite the Nixon pose, but getting there as that one goes across, and that is going to be swung on and missed. And that'll be a strikeout for Pacheco.
Now coming up to bat for the Wildcats, number 1, Kevin Ochoa.
And that was the other Pacheco. I shouldn't actually say the other Pacheco. I should say it's actually Sanchez. Sorry, Patrick Sanchez. I've got Pacheco on my mind. So 1 out already. Coming up next is going to be the center fielder. We had the ump come out for a second, going back, and we're going to resume play. 1 out though, nobody on, as that was the first strikeout for the inning. That goes across, did not catch anything. It will be a ball. So 1-0 is the count right now, and again, another delivery. A low, ball 2. So Ochoa has not been able to get anything past the first inning. Yep, it'll be low again. Could not find the corner on that one once again. 3-0. So has the advantage on this one. As 1 out though, nobody on. This is the final inning as he gets the ball 4 call and will walk, take his base at first, and we'll start this
Now coming up to bat for the Wildcats,
this one
number
with
19,
a runner on
Lujan.
first. So coming up next is going to be Lujan, right fielder. And that is going to be Facindo Lujan, lefty. And let's see what he can do as gets that first one to come across. Some pitchers have trouble with left batters, or lefty batters, but this one's going to go across for the ball. That one on the other side, also a ball. And that one just outside, so 2-0 for the count. Trying to see what he can do with this one. Swung on and missed. It is actually, fouled back, so it'll be a strike either way. So 2-1 the count. As that was nicely done, protect the plate, and just could not quite get it lined up with the ball. So Lujan trying to see what he can do with this one. Swung on and missed that time again. And now we'll go to the count of 2-2. Still has the opportunity with one out and one on at first to get something going, but needs to. This is the bottom of the seventh. Going to be outside. Full count is what we're going to be looking at now. As Lovington trying to get back into this one any way they can, scratching and clawing against these Bulldogs. And we'll back off as he times out for a second. He did, and gets quickly back into it. Takes a high one, and it's going to be a walk. So instead of a 2 outs, Lovington does have a bit of life going as they have a runner at second and at first with that walk. Coming up next is going to be Paderes, who had a single, ended up scoring in the last inning. Only one to be able to score. He's had 2 singles and a flyout in the second. That one's going to go right across for, actually not a flyout, but an infield out. So that's going to be his cross as he watches it for the strike. 0-1 the count. That was kind of a bit of a blooper there, but hits it. He's going to advance the runners to second and third as he wasn't able to leg it out. Nicely hit, but could not get to first in time. So at least he advanced the runners, but with 2 outs and 2 on, that does limit the ability to be able to get more runs in. But they still have one more chance, at least with Jude Madrid. Last time, though, struck out twice in the last 2 at-bats. Wants to see what he can do, as that's a swing and a miss on that one for strike number 1. So it could come all down to Jude Madrid and his bat. First one, though, was a strike. Swung on and missed. And that's going to be a timeout quickly by the ump. That looks like it's going to be a balk because he's just let one run come across. And that'll be Ocha. And that'll be 6-run lead for the Bulldogs. And that puts Lujan at third. Swung on a miss on that fastball and still has it. So 0-2, even though with that balk. And that'll put across to Ocha. Another swing and a miss, and that'll be the game as that one goes across for another strike. And that, my friends, is game 1 of the game 2 series as we see 11-5, a 6-run lead for the Artesia Bulldogs. So we'll come back in a moment as we'll talk about stats here in just a second as we get them in. And we'll also talk about the pregame for game number 2 between these two 4A district opponents. Artesia gets the win. That puts them up to 5-0. It's 16-6 for the record. Now they have an away of 6-5. That will put Lovington at 500 at 11-11 and 1-4 in district. That means they've got a 3-game losing streak. They've also got A losing streak against Artesia now at 6. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network, whether you're on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on KZOR on the Facebook page. All right, for our Lovington, thank you very much for being here, by the way. We are on hobbsamerica.com and YouTube. That was 5 runs, 6 hits for Lovington, 2 RBI, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, unfortunately, and 11 left on base. And that could have been the difference as far as the game. Once again, 11-5 is the final. And we'll be doing game number 2 here in probably going to be minutes, it's going to seem like, as we continue coverage on it. Of course, we started this game back on Friday, and we were bound and determined to make sure that we get it right and get you the coverage on this district matchup. Again, we're going to have a couple of district matchups again coming up for against Portales. Going to be starting off in Portales on May 1st. May 2nd will be the doubleheader. Of course, all that will be covered on Lovington Sports Network, whether it be on YouTube or on hobbsamerica.com. Once again, I'm filling in for TJ Miracle. I'm Ron Gunter. Thank you very much for being here. And we've got the first game is in the books, as they say, 11-5. We'll be back in a moment with more as we continue coverage, and we'll get the lineups and everything going on for game number 2 right here in Lovington on the campus of Lovington High School. Thanks for watching. So it looks like Usherwood had a complete game with 115 pitches and 9 strikeouts. I had 8, so missed one. Good outing for Brant. Once again, Artesia at 16-6 now, and Lovington falls to 11-11, 500 on the record right now. Would love to get at least one victory out of this one, but we'll have a lot of work as they have the #1 team again once Artesia comes back on the field to try to deal with. Be back in a moment with more right here as we continue coverage on KZUR on Facebook page. Just a reminder for everybody who is a fan of Lee County sports, we also have games going on tomorrow, which is going to be including Eunice against Loving. That is going to be the softball game starting at 4:30. Also going to see Clovis softball versus Hobbs. That'll be in Clovis starting at 4:30 as well. 5 o'clock is going to see Hobbs versus Carlsbad in Hobbs. That'll be game one of the 2-game series. Of course, that'll be Tuesday. Ty Friend will be there to give you all the coverage on that one. And that'll be starting at 5 o'clock sharp. We'll also have JV afterwards. Will not be televised, but will be happening as well. Eunice versus JAL baseball. That'll be happening at 6 o'clock. That'll be on JAL Sports, and I'll be doing that one. And again, that starts at 6 o'clock between 16 and 4 Eunice, and they have not they've been undefeated against JAL since they started back in 2017 against 3 and 15 JAL Panthers. And then the second of the doubleheader will be happening, of course, in Clovis against Hobbs. Hobbs having a record of 11 and 10, and Clovis just 1 and 21. So they have not been able to get any victories, and who knows what's going to happen on that one, but nevertheless, so it's going to be a game happening on Tuesday. All those games happening on Tuesday. You can find them on our Hobbs, or actually on our Facebook page. You can find out the details. Also find that on hobbsamerica.com. Just look under the banner. I'm sure that Hobbs boys will be on the Hobbs Eagle Sports. Sometimes the girls will be on Eagle Sports as well, number 2. Lovington will be on Lovington Sports, and JAL will be on the JAL Sports Network as well. Be back in a moment with more as we continue coverage right here in Lovington. First game over with, second game starting here in minutes as we get to play Artesia, number 1 team in the district, as it is now 5-0 for them in district, and Lovington falls to 1-4. All right, we are back and got the lineup for the Wildcats. Still missing the Bulldogs, but we'll take that as it goes. As we have the lineup for the outfield for the Lovington Wildcats on this second game. It's going to be Guana who's going to be pitching for Lovington Wildcats. Let me see, do I have any numbers on him? I think I do, and I forgot to do that for the first pitcher. Actually, that was the middle of the game. So he has an ERA of 7, has 24 innings pitched, so that'll be more. Of course, has allowed 44 hits, 37 runs. ER is at 24, walked 6, has struck out 16, and has allowed 4 home runs in this season. Coming after that is going to be Pondo, is going to be catching once again. Sanchez at first, Gutierrez at second. It'll be Paderes at third. Madrid at shortstop, Weezer at left field, Ocha at second center again, and Luan at right. So some things have changed and some things have not, but overall, this Lovington team is ready to go. And we'll be getting the bats for the Bulldogs as they go along as well. And it looks like we're getting underway on this one, so we are getting underway for the second game. And it looks like it's going to be starting right at about 5:47. So Frankie Galindo coming up first. Started last time too, and he did so with a nice home run. First pitch goes across, and that is going to be a ball. So Frank Galindo up first. Ball number 2 on that as well. So let's see, we've got the senior, 17. Taking that one for possible ball. I couldn't still have that. Up there it is, 3-0. So 3-0 for the call. Frank goes and gets the walk quickly as that one goes by him. He had to get out of the way. And we'll advance to first.
Now up to the bat for the Bulldogs, number 2, Jet Fuentes.
It looks like it'll be Jet Fuentes, so it could be the similar situation as far as lineup. Just don't know about the outfield yet. But we will, as soon as we find out, of course, we'll let you know. Jet Fuentes is up next. 1 on, no out. That goes across for the strike. So the count is now 0-1 for the junior Jet. And that's going to be a quick steal. Had to grab the ball real quickly. May have cost him a moment. Couldn't quite catch it anyway. That's me Gutierrez. So successful steal to second is Galindo. And now he's in scoring position at second with no outs and Jet Fuentes at bat. Looks back to second, goes and delivers. That'll be outside for the ball. So 1-1 is what we've got. On this second game, first inning. Artesia already trying to get into scoring position, and they have with Galindo. Did not do so like he did the first game with a home run to the left wall, but nevertheless, though, with the wind blowing out, this is going to go center as it's going to curve a little bit, go hit the wall, and actually it's going to be a home run. So that is going to be 2 runs for Fuentes as he gets the dinger, and that's going to be the second time that Artesia is able to open up with a home run to start this game. And again, nicely done. Probably carried a little bit by the wind as well, as that one went just a little bit to the left of center. And should have been able to see that on the camera as well. So already 2 in the books for the Artesia Bulldogs. Coming up next is going to be Jack Byers, the junior. So yeah, Jack Byers also had a grand slam earlier. Well, actually, in not grand slam, but had a 3 RBI home run, I should say. As that first one goes across, looked like that was a ball. That one's definitely going to be inside, low, and ball 2. Yes, indeed. Confirmed by the ump. On the other side of it, and couldn't find anything as that went wide for ball 3. So 3-0 for the count. Nobody on, no outs. 2 runs already have come across after a home run cleared bases of 1, and that's going to be a fastball inside for what it thought was, Byers thought it was going to be a ball, but instead a strike is called as it went just inside for the strike zone. So 3-1, let's see what happens again as that one comes across, and it's going to be fouled and will be a strike, full count. Meanwhile, on the mound, that'll be Josiah Ghana, and that he is a senior. Once again, told you his numbers, full count at 3-2. Now it's going to be hit to the left, just in front. Oh, he actually had a chance to catch it, but instead bounces off him, goes to the wall. Will be an easy double, as it will stand up and just stay there for the double. Nicely hit as it went almost to the wall. Actually, I think it hit the wall. After it hits off of the left fielder, that is going to be Weezer. Couldn't quite get it, though. Thought he was a little further away than he was, but it was close enough to be able to hit him. He was able to keep it a double. So coming up next is going to be Pacheco. That's going to be Dalen Pacheco, the junior. That is going to be a fastball. So ball for that one so far. And that's going to be no call, so ball 2 on that one as well. So no out, 1 on at second scoring position. Here comes another delivery. That's going to be hit. And it should be fair, but it's going to be caught by Luana for out number 1. Nicely done as he was able to get that fly infield fly out for the first out. So Usherwood, Brant Usherwood coming up next. As he did pitch 115 throws. Swing and miss, though. Cut deep, but not enough to be able to get anything except for a swing and a miss. Strike 1 already. That looks like me when I swing. All or nothing. So it is 0-1, 1 on, 1 out. Check and second, go ahead, deliver. This time around it's going to be hit and just foul, as it would probably would have went straight to third baseman, but will be an account of 0-2 for Usherwood. So Brant behind on the count, trying to get out of that one. Did have 3 strikeouts in the last game. I'm sure he does not want to get another. That's going to go inside, and yes, he did get rung up for that one. Out number 2, as that is the first strikeout for this game. So coming up next is going to be, should be Jet Whitmire. Let's see if it is. Jet Whitmire it is. So far, same kind of setup for the lineup for the batting order. That one goes across, and it will not find the strike zone, so it'll be a ball. Ball 1. So 2 outs, 1 on, no at second. Another one goes outside for ball 2. Jet Whitmire had a single at last time at bat in the last game. Also struck out once. Flew out and hit on with a fielder's choice. Here's this one, goes over to shortstop. Will field it to first, but not in time as the runner is safe. And just could not get that 6-3 going from Madrid to Sanchez. So instead of an out, it will be a single. And coming up next is going to be number 1, Diego Morales, and that is going to be the junior. So 7th in order, Morales, as we have runners on the corners right now. And that is going to be hit, delivered deep to the left. It looks like it is going to be fair and will be caught as a can of corn from Weezer will get the third out from Morales. But now before the damage was done a little bit, 2 runs come across and 2 left on base as well. We had 1 hit from the home run and no errors. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is 2-0. Lovington up next with their bats. See if they get back into this game like they did the first one. Of course, we'll have it all right here on KZOR.com. Well, sorry, not KZOR. It'll be on the Facebook page, also on HobbsAmerica.com and on YouTube. All right, we are back. The first one up is going to be Gutierrez once again, playing at second base. From Morales, first one comes across, and that is going to be a strike right down the pike. Found the bottom of the corner right there, and nice little hurdler. So we're going to see if that curveball is going to continue. That one's going to be hit right back to Morales as he gets to first. It's going to be second base going over to first, and that is going to be out as he got the 4-3. Unfortunately, couldn't leg it out on that one as the first out already as that one goes from, and it's going to be Beauregard. Going to be getting that one over to, that was Sanchez. No, sorry, not Sanchez. Byers. Byers is the one that caught it at first. And already Weezer up with a strike on that one as they watch it go by. And the count is now 0-1. Morales with the fast delivery once again. Swing and a miss on that one, strike 2. So right now 0-2 is Weezer as Ryan tries to get back in the box and try to see what he can do with the bat. Low, and that'll be ball 1. Yeah, a little bouncer on that one. There's still plenty of give as it keeps Weezer alive. Wow, swing and a miss on that one. Missed everything, strike 3, and that'll be the first strikeout for Morales. Out number 2, though. It's so far 2 up, 2 down. And Lovington next up. It's going to be Pondo, Mike Pondo. Quickly a delivery. First one's going to go inside, or outside actually, for ball 1. Pondo had a strikeout earlier, did get a walk in his last at bat, and a single in the first inning. And that'll be grounded over to third quickly. Gets to the first for the 5-3 and the out. And 3 up, 3 down on that one. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the second, and it is going to be a 2-run lead for Artesia, 2-0. We'll be back in a moment as we continue the coverage right here on Lovington Baseball, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, KZUR on the Facebook page, or on YouTube. All right, back in action as it is the senior once again, Josiah Guana, going to be pitching for Lovington Wildcats. So we're getting the Pondo is coming out now after he had to get geared up. Took him a moment. Actually, still trying to get his. There we go, as he gets his
Now coming up to bat for the Bulldogs,
mask on.
number 8, Charlie Campbell.
And it'll be back again for Charlie Campbell, the third. To see what he can do. Let's see, he did have some success. He scored twice on a walk and off of a hit by pitch. Actually got a couple of steals as well. Also struck out too in the last game. 2-0 is the score right now. Lovington behind as we go to the top of the second. First one up once again is going to be Charlie Campbell the third. Let's see what we can do with the bat again, as he's been swing and a miss on that one. First one cut, but nothing but air. Ball one. Sorry, strike one. Strike one. Potato, potato. Here we go again. The second one going to be across the middle, and no, I thought it was going to be a strike, but instead will be the ball. So expected to see that, and Charlie was smart enough not to swing at that one. 1-1. Goes across on that one. Will be the same call. 2-1 now. So Charlie just being patient as we get to the top of the second. Started off that one time. That one goes across the middle, and that will be a strike. Count goes to 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on, and 2-2 for the count for Charlie Campbell. Quana up, throws, and going to hit that one. It's going to be popped into the center. Looked like it was shallow, but it will get out to the outfield just enough, though. But Ochia is going to get that one for the first out from center field. Hit that one straight to him. Didn't have to move very much as he camped underneath that one. Was able to get that under his glove and in the webbing. Coming up next is going to be
Next for the Bulldogs,
Caden Beauregard. Saw him earlier. That first one's going to go across as a strike. That's going to go off the glove. Looks like that's going to be a ball. So 1-1 is the call for Beauregard. And again, with this one's going to go straight over to third. Is it going to be rallied to first in time? It is. Actually, he had to tag him as he got off the base. But it is going to be a 5-3 as that one went from Paredes to Sanchez. Sanchez again was able to get off the base, but tag him before he got to first for the tag out. So second out on that one, and it's going to be top of the order again. Frank Galindo is going to get back on it. And that is going to be a curveball that's going to not find the glove, but will be ball one. So 1-0 is the count. Swung on and missed. Guy was a little early on that one on the swing. And that will be 1-1 for the count. Galindo started off the other day with a home run and then ended up being last one at bat, had a hit by pitch. So the ball on that, 2-1. Was able to get 2 runs to come across during the first game. It's going to be delivered. Oh, that is just safe, or fair, I mean, as it goes across the third base, and he's going to go to second standing up. He thought about third as it was delivered to second base, outside of second base. Thinks twice about it and just gets the stand-up double. So nicely hit for Frank Galindo. Coming up next is Jet Fuentes. Fuentes had a home run to clear the base. So we had a 2 RBI home run in the first. See if he can do it again. Could be deja vu as he looks back at second. Going to go ahead and throw. With this one, it's going to be drilled to left, and that is going to be foul. Could have been, couldn't see where it went, but looked like it was. Nicely hit, though. So 0-1 is the count. So here we go again. That time it's going to find inside for the strike. 0-2. So you can expect to see Jet protect the plate. That one's going to be yanked to the left and just foul. Would have been in front of the fence or the wall. So Jet, the junior, has some power, but it doesn't change the count. 0-2 is what we've got. 1 on at second, so scoring position already. If he hits it, could be an RBI again for the junior. Hit this time, and it goes over to shortstop. He's going to wing it over to first, and the stretch out will be in time for out number 3. The 6-3 will get the final out. It will leave 1 on base as it was. It's 1 hit, and that was it. So 1 hit, no runs come across, no errors as well. We go to the bottom of the second. We've got a score of 2-0, and Lovington bringing it back up to bat to see if they can get those 2 runs as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on KZOR on the Facebook page. We also have you on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Be back in a moment. All right, first pitch for Spoboda. That goes across for a ball. So we're in the bottom of the second right now. And 1-0. Did not go in, and that is going to be a ball, so ball 2. Looked like Spoboda ducked a little bit, but didn't have to. 2-0. Swing and a miss on that one. Had a little early swing on that one, as that was going to be a strike. So 2-1 now, as nobody on, no outs. Start of the second, or start of the bottom of the second. That one goes across for a strike, no look, or no swing. 2-2 now, as we get the Richard Nixon peace sign. 2-2, and we got the swing already, as that one goes to third, grounded, and will be over to first in time for the 5-3, as Podovia could not leg it out, and the first out of this bottom of the second. Coming up again is going to be Weezer. Weezer struck out the last time up. Might get actually no, I'm sorry, that is Patrick Sanchez. So first time up for this game. And as we hit, grounded over to short. He's going to get it on the hop. Put it over to first, but not in time as the runner gets to get to first before the throw. So nice single for Patrick. And with one out, one on, it's going to be Ocha is going to be coming up next. And Cam, the center fielder, is going to see what he can do with this at bat. Ochoa got a run off of a walk in the last game. Here's the pitch. He's going to hit it, and it looks like it's going to be foul. It's going to be fair, playable. No, it is not. So a long strike on that one for Cam. 0-1. So one on, one out, and Cam up to bat. Could tie the game if he scores, but he's got to get there first, and that is going to be a throwback to first. Tagged in time, and Sanchez remains safe. It wasn't really much of a leadoff anyway for Sanchez, as Patrick gets back to where he was before. Morales pitches, and a swing and a miss on that one just inside, but nevertheless, strike two. Huge cut on that one, so needs to protect the plate as this one is going to be a possible out number 2 in this inning. That one's going to go in, watched it go by, and luckily called a ball. So 1-2 for the count. Looks like the wind has died down a little bit, but it's still in the hitter's advantage as far as it's going out to center field. Let's see what Cam can do with this one as Morales throws it, swing and a miss, and it was inside. And that'll be strike number 3. And that'll also mean for Morales the second strikeout of the game. So coming up next, still to the first round of bats will be Lujan. He is playing right field today, or this one. Swung on and check swing. Well, should be a strike on that one, I would think. Morales back up though, as a one runner on, 2 outs though, and that'll be strike called. So that'll be number 2 for Financio, Lujan. Financio is a junior. Just a bit outside. Didn't find the corner, so it'll be a ball. 1-2. Oh, that's right. Need to update that too. So 1-2 for the count. 1 out, or 2 outs, sorry. And 1 on. Like to see what he can do with the bat. High on that one though, as looking to see about catching the runner. 2-2. So Morales could throw a strike or could get a chase. Well, of course, we'll see here in just a second. Throws outside, and will be a wild pitch. So going to see if they can test that arm, and it will be throw in time, but did not get caught. So it'll be a nice wild pitch steal for Sanchez. So nice throw, but just could not get caught. May have been an out at the tag. Nevertheless, 2-2, runner in scoring position at second. Swing and a miss on that one will be strike number 3, and that'll be also the second strikeout for this inning, 3rd overall for Morales, as it is 1 left on base, no errors. It is going to be 1 hit and no runs. We go to the top of the 3rd We've got a small scoring game so far, 2-0, as it'll be Artesia coming up to bat next. We're continuing the coverage right here on the Lovington Network. All right, Jack Byers up here first for Artesia as we get the start of the third inning going, top of the third. And Jack Byers is at third base when he's on defense. So Guana delivering the first one a little low for the ball call. Ball one against Jackie Byers. Takes that one across. No call, so ball two. Looked a little low, and actually I guess it was. It looked just about right, but apparently was a little too low for the strike. That one goes and catches the corner on that one, and nice outside strike call for a call of 1-2, or 2-1. So 2-1. Byers still ahead. Now it's going to be across, and nicely done as it was caught. It was a line drive to third, and it was nicely played by Paredes as he was able to get that first out. I don't know if that was luck, skill, or just a little bit of reflex, but either way, was able to get that one in his glove, and it stuck for out number one. So Jack is out, and coming up next is going to be Pacheco. He'll be playing at first base. And that's me. Dalen already hits it to left. Going to be deep, but near the track, and the warning track, as it is Weezer who's able to get underneath it and get that one picked. I couldn't tell if that was a line drive or that was a bit of a fly ball, but either way, out number two as it goes left field. So once again, it was a nice catch from Weezer, Ryan Weezer, and coming up next is going to be a swing and a miss for Usherwood. So 2 outs already, quickly done, as the first one is a strike. Swing and a miss on that one, a little head on that swing too. Brandt missing those two so far as he tries to warm up, get back into it. 0-2, he's down on the count. He knows he has to protect the plate. And that one's going to be hit, and he did hit it, but a little late. So it is going to be a foul ball. 0-2 continues the count. Guana looking pretty good so far as he continues into the third inning for the Lovington Wildcats. As he does get the ball back. Saw earlier a pitch, throw from the catcher to, and that was an Artesia pitcher that got one right in the face and was able to continue on after that. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike number 3, and a dropped. He thinks it's a drop strike because he's going to run over to first, but nope, not in time. So third out. So 3 up, 3 down, nobody on, no strike, no. I should say this: no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the third, and Artesia holding on to that 2-0 lead. We'll be back in a moment as the Lovington bats coming up next. Right here as we continue coverage on the Lovington Network. All right, we are already back and underway as first pitch goes across from Morales as a ball. That was going to be hit, and it's going to go over to the left. It'll find the gap between the two, and that is going to be between Usherwood and Byers. And already we have one on for the Wildcats. Of course, that is going to be Paredes. So Paredes with a nice single. And we're going to get to the second batter of this inning, Jude Madrid, shortstop. It looks like we're going to get through the rotation on this inning. Nice curveball goes across for the strike. Didn't see how that was going to be happening, but did cross the plate in the strike zone. So 0-1 is the count with one on, no outs. Morales with the delivery once again, a little low, trying to get the runner at first, and tag not in time, so he is safe, Paredes is. And that'll be a ball one as well. So 1-1 for the count. And yeah, he didn't have a long stride as far as he didn't have a big leadoff. Still not a big leadoff. This time, though, does deliver that inside, and that looked like it was hard to hit, but a strike nevertheless. So 1-2, as Morales is showing some control so far early in this game. Morales with the call. Going to go ahead and deliver that one. Swung on, missed, and will be strike three. So Madrid goes down swinging as that is out number one for Lovington. And that will also mean the fourth strike for Morales. Coming up next is going to be Gutierrez, top of the order once again. So this will be the second rotation for the lineup as that one goes high for the ball. So 1-0 is the count, as it is one on, one out, and bottom of the third. Swung on and thought about that was a check swing, but instead, either way, it's going to be a strike as it goes across. 1-1. Like to see Gutierrez get something, so that way advance some runners and get Paredes in scoring position, if not score. That one is going to go across, and it's going to be finding the strike zone for number 2. 1-2. And at this point, you got to wonder what Gutierrez is thinking about because those pitches have been close. That was going to go across, but did not find the zone this time, and will be 2-2. So a bit patient. Could have swung on that one, but nevertheless, a ball call. Going up to that will be Ryan Weezer. Ryan, a senior, as that was a third strike for Gutierrez. Gutierrez being a junior. Jaden Gutierrez goes down swinging. That'll be strikeout number 6 for Morales. As we have 2 outs and 1 on, coming up next is going to be Ryan Weezer. So struck out in the first at bat. Going to be fouled. And that is going to go to the right, out of play. So Morales keeping them on their toes. So far, it was able to get one hit so far. As that one goes across, but is a ball. Again, Weezer thought about swinging on that one, but check swing on that did stop before becoming a strike. So nicely done for Ryan, as he's trying to get his teammate a little closer to home. Delivered, and that's me low. And a wild pitch is going to go ahead and get the runner to second. And that will be not contested as Paredes goes to second. And that'll be the ball. So 2-1 is the call. Oops. And it turned out it was the pitch went right to the ump. And it was at his feet or foot. that'll be low for ball 3. So 3-1 count right now. So at the very least, it could mean that person on first to second, if they get walked. But a man on second, scoring position. Low, and it'll be ball 4. So now it's first and second for Weezer. First. Second is going to be Paredes
Coming up to bat for the
as he
Wildcats,
gets that
number
walk.
12, Micah Pondo.
So with 2 outs and 2 on the corners, coming up next is going to be Mike Pondo. Pondo hit into a shallow infield 5-3 for the 3rd out of the 1st inning. Trying to do better on this one, as Morales is going to deliver up something after. Actually, no, they're not on the corners. It's first and second. Sorry. Thinking ahead, I thought for a second that he had run to third, but he did not. So first and second, here we go. Swung on and hit up the middle. And that is going to find the gap as well as at least get the bases loaded. If not, he's going to go ahead and run for it. And a throw bad from the pitcher, and it's going to go ahead and get him home, as well as move the runners to second and third, respectively. So that scores Paredes from second. And it also will give a hit for Pondo. So an RBI single who gets him to second, and that'll make Weezer go to third. So 2 on now in scoring position. 1 score gets it down to 2-1 so far. And coming up next is going to be Spadovia with 2 outs and 2 on in scoring position. Spadovia had an infield out as well for the 1st out of the 2nd inning. Hit on, and it's going to go right back to Morales. Morales grabs it, is able to throw him out at first before getting there in time. So Spadovia with 1 hit gets the 1-3, 3rd out, and that does in the inning. But there is at least 1 run that comes across for the Cats, even though 2 left on base, no errors. And how many hits were there? There was 2 hits without 1 run. So we go to the top of the 3rd, actually the top of the 4th. And it's going to be a 1-run lead for Artesia. Coming up to bat next right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on KZUR Facebook page. Be back in a moment. All right, getting back into it. We've got the first batter in the top of the 4th, and it will be Jet Whitmire. Should be anyway.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 16, Jet Whitmire.
Jet did get a single in his first one at bat in this game, but was left at first. So Guano with the first delivery for the Cats, and that goes across for the ball. So far, the Wildcats are holding their own against this number 1 team, the Bulldogs. That one's going to be a swing and a miss on that one. Nicely done as it was cut early. Hard strike, but nevertheless goes down striking. So strike 1 for Whitmire. That's going to go off the pitcher as it gets hit back to him. Thought about throwing it to first, but wouldn't be in time, so kept the ball. And is going to check the pitcher and Guano to see, and it looks like he's going to be staying in after he got hit by that hit back. And it is going to be end up being a single.
Number 1, Diego Morales.
So the second time we've seen, even though that's the first time it was hit by a batter, got a pitcher hit. Luckily not in the face. Morales, though, as he hits this one quickly at a bunt, and will be advancing the runner to second for Jet Whitmire and be out at first, is going to be Morales. Oh, that is a foul. Never mind. So everybody's going to go back. So instead of that being a hit, it'll be a strike. So 1-1. As I hear bunt over on the left side, which is the Artesia side, so maybe they'll be try a bunt again. And we'll bunt this time. Will be a good one. It'll be caught by third and almost tripped over his pitcher, and this time around does advance the runner to second. Again, Jet Whitmire, and gets the out from the 5-3 for the bunt. So out number one on that one, but does advance the runner to second. So Morales got his deed done, and coming up next will be Charlie Campbell III. Charlie flew out in the second inning to center field. Going back to second, going to head deliver that one, going to be up high, and looks like deja vu once again as he camps underneath it and is going to be able to catch that one, but it's going to be deep enough that it's going to advance the runner to third. That was Ocha was able to get that catch. So out number two for the Bulldogs, but it does advance the runner Whitmire to third. So nice catch by Cam. Coming up next is going to be Beauregard. Looks like he is playing second base. Last time he was at bat, had a 5-3. This one's going to go to left field in front of the fielder, and it's going to be an RBI single for him, as Jet Whitmire does come across for the run. So now we've got a 3-1 game, as we still have Beauregard at first now. And top of the order for the Bulldogs is Galindo, who is third up now, or third time around for the bat. Last time got a double. Going to be, I just had to make sure. Okay, so one out, one on for Galindo, and that's going to be a ball call for the first one. That one is going to go to center as well. Going to be in front of him, so to bounce. In fact, it is unable to get that. And it'll be a run that sends Beauregard to third off that fumble in an E7. As Galindo goes to first. So first and third are covered right now. Runners on the corners with Jet Fuentes on that error. Going to be up next. So one out and two on. Once again on the corners. And a steal, going to go ahead and go back to the pitcher, will allow that steal to happen because they did not want to get a steal for home. That would have been, of course, Beauregard. Beauregard still at third. Sometimes these plays happen so fast, you miss an opportunity. And so now second and third are covered. One out. Hit. And that is going to be left field. Looks like it's going to go. And it's going to be on the wall. So bounces off the wall. Played a little too deep. And two have come across. So Beauregard and Galindo scored on that one, so that is an RBI, two RBI single for Fuentes, and he could have probably got a double off that one as he hit that one deep, but nevertheless keeps the single. But two more runs come across, so we have a different game here, as that one is going to be hit as well, just foul though. So one out, one on. A couple of runs have already scored for Artesia. Actually, three have come across. And there's going to be a fastball. It's going to go across, and it'll be a 1-1 is what we've got for Byers. So Jack low, though. Now it's a 2-1 count. Tried to throw back in time, and they did not get the runner at first as he was able to get back in time. Of course, that is going to be Jet Fuentes. So Fuentes at first. Byers still on. Hitting this one, it's going to be foul. Looks like it's going to be catchable, and up. Then that's the second time in a row. Actually, he's going to blame the Guano for interfering with that. It was close to being foul or fair, but ended up being foul, luckily, because nobody caught it. As Ghana had a good shot as well, but catcher was really trying to get under it. I don't think anybody called it off. I don't think the catcher thought he needed to. And next thing you know, he felt a presence, and the ball hit the ground. So 2-2 is the count. So Jack Byers, once again, 2-2. Gets it across, and that'll be a full count now of 3-2. Luckily was able to get that one without a wild pitch. Would have advanced the runner to second. Fuentes at first. One out. Pacheco up next. Now it's going to be delivered to left, and that is going to go into the outfield for at least a single as it was corralled finally. And that is going to be by Weezer. So Fuentes at second now, and it'll be Byers at first with that single. And coming up next will be Dalian Pacheco, the junior. So Pacheco again with runners at first and second. Swung on and missed as that was a little early, strike one. So last time he flew out to left, and before that had it caught by the pitcher. That one inside, and nicely done as it sneaks in for a strike. That was inside, hard to hit, but enough to be a strike, 0-2. So 0-2, Pacheco still there. Hits this one, and it goes into the outfield just in front of center field. Going to throw to home and not in time, as that one does get Jet Fuentes to cross from second. And that'll get Jack Byers to third. Or no, he's at second. So that'll be a single RBI single for Pacheco, Dalian Pacheco. Usherwood coming up next. Struck out twice in this game so far. So 2 on once again, 1 out. And it will be, a wild pitch. It's going to be going to the backstop. And we'll advance those runners. So Byers goes to third. Pacheco goes to second. Usherwood still at bat. No, actually not. Yeah, it is Usherwood. All right, thought I saw 9 there for a second, but it is a 7. So 1-0 is the count. That's going to be 2-0. Yep, 2-0 the count. And so what we get on this one is that one is going to go across, foul, as it got hit. And it'll be 2-1. So that's one of those ricochet kind of deals, but luckily nobody got hit or hurt. So 2 on, 1 out. And Usherwood ahead of the count still at 2-1. Swung on, a golf swing on that one as it goes foul. And it definitely was not going to be a strike on that one. It looked like a ball, but swung on it anyway. Took that 9-iron out. So 2-2 is the count. Swung on that one as well. foul. Not quite lined up on that one. At least he's protecting the plate now at 2-2. No change on the count. And we'd like to get something going with his bat. Try to see if we can get an RBI as well in this inning. So 2-2. I'm just going to go across and foul as well. Is this going to be catchable? No, it is not. And it's going to go overhead. Don't know where it landed, but definitely behind us is a possibility. Keeps count at 2-2. So 2-2 and a few foul balls later. Here we are. Swing on, and this one's going to be also foul, but looks like it'll be catchable as, nope, once again, heard footsteps. Possibly looked around as thought he saw somebody or heard somebody. But instead of a, said it's just a foul. Could have actually had that one look like for Pondo. So that's the third one that Pondo has not been able to catch for whatever reason, doesn't matter. But nevertheless, though, still has an opportunity to be able to get that second out against Usherwood. So outside on that one, and will not be a wild pitch. Nobody runs on that one, and it will be a full count after all. So after all those fouls, we get a full count. Still there. So at the very least, if it gets walked, we'll load the bases up. Otherwise, could be a second out if it's a strikeout or a pop fly. Going to be outside, though, for ball 4. So that is going to be bases loaded. Top of the 4th, 1 out. And Jet Whitmire, the center fielder, is going to come up next. Jet has had a single that scored him. It looks like we're going to get a pitcher. I don't see anybody warming up. Actually, I do. Maybe. No, I don't. So we're going to get a mating of the mound. We're going to take a break. Be back in a moment as we get to continue this game. 5-1 is the score. Up by 4 are the Artesia Bulldogs. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network. Update, 6-4, 6-1. So there's a 5-run lead as we're still having a meeting of the mound. And if there's a pitching change, we'll let you know. All right, so with the long deliberation, we go ahead and get back to Guano. Not quite yet. Maybe there is a pitching change in the works, but right now, still don't see anybody working out over there, but hard to tell. But nevertheless, though, up to, let's see, strike on that one. Throw to first. Oh, that's right. That was a walk. So Jet up first with a strike, for strike 1. Hit to third as it gets to third in time, and going to be a tag. And thought that was just 1 out, but it's 2 outs, and that's the 3rd out. As we get into it, we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th, and it will be, looks like, a lead of 6-1 for Artesia. Let's see what we have here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 5 hits for Artesia. 3 left on base. No errors. And it was 4 runs come across. So once again, 6-1 is the score. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And Lovington up to bat next as we continue with this coverage right here. Exclusive coverage from No Mark Broadcasting. Be back in a moment. We're at the bottom of the fourth right now. We're getting back into it with Patrick Sanchez coming up first. Last time up, he did get a single and also stole second on a wild pitch, but was left stranded at second in the second inning. We're in the bottom of the fourth right now. It looks like it is still going to be Morales doing a great job so far for the Bulldogs on the mound. First one's going to come across and sunk low, just enough for the strike in the strike zone. So 0-1 is the count. And that's me against Patrick Sanchez once again. So quickly 0-2 as those fast deliveries from Morales just keep a little faster. 0-2. Here we go once again, just getting in line. That one is just barely hit foul. It will be just to the right. Almost got it lined up to be inside. Of course, it could have possibly go to the first baseman, but foul nevertheless. Swung on and missed. Nicely done, as that was a sinker, looked like. In any case, that'll be a strikeout.
Now coming up to bat, number 1.
And that is going to be
Ochoa.
2-5. Actually, six strikeout for Morales. Coming up next is going to be Cam on to bat. Struck out last time up. And it looks like 0-1 right now for the count. Well, now it's going to kind the corner once again. See if that is strike number 2. Yep, 0-2 once again. Quickly hit, and this time it's going to go foul again. This is playable, possibly. No. Look, it went outside the ballpark, so no change on that one as Cam tried to get it to go forward, but instead, after that first 2 strikes, had to get something to going, and that was the foul call. So 0-2 is the count against Cam. Morales again. Quickly low, though, and as it hits the dirt, will be ball. Goes to 1-2 for Cam. Cam's got a 234 average coming into the day. Had 13 runs, 15 hits, 7 RBI. Just outside for the ball call, so ball 2. 2-2. Cam also has had a double, 2 triples, 6 walks, and has struck out, though, 30 times coming into the day. So this one's going to be hit high, just shallow enough that second base is going to track it down, and it does so for out number 2. So it goes to just a shallow hit.
Number 19, Fidencio Lujan.
So Fidencio Lujan coming up next. Lujan had a strikeout in the second to get the third out. That's where it's at. So Lujan takes first one for a strike as it goes down the middle. Would have been a strike possibly anyway, but swung on and missed on that one. Strike number 1. And that's going to go foul. 0-2 once again, and Morales is seems to be getting ahead on his counts more often and makes his job a little easier to get those outs. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strikeout number 7 as he goes down swinging, and third out as well. So 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats as it is the top of the 5th. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on base. In fact, so far they've had 1 run come across, 3 hits, and I have left 3 stranded. No errors so far for either team. And it is still 6-1, 5-run lead for the Bulldogs. As once again we go to the top of the 5th. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on KZUR.com, on the KZUR, the Facebook page, also on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. All right, so we have a quick change in pitching. It is Mike Pondo who has taken over for pitching, and for catching it is Cole McKillop, the senior, number 14. Here we go underway. The first one's up is going to be Diego Morales, who's going to smack that one off to the left. And that is going to be, well, it looked a little fair or foul. Either way, it got caught. And that is me out by Weezer. So the first out for the Bulldogs happens with a fly out to left. And Morales, hitting for his own cause, flies out on that one. So for the first out. So Charlie Campbell the third coming up next. Charlie has been 2 outs with both of them flying out to center, and that one's going to be a foul ball as it goes to the backstop off of a foul ball. Getting close to sunset, but the lights are on right now, so that won't be a problem. No storms, and I will knock on wood on that one. Don't want to have that happen again. That one's going to be hit straight over, but could not handle it. Going to fling that over to first, but not in time. Artesia is going to get away from the first baseman. That'll be, of course, it'll be Sanchez. Could not handle that throw, and that'll be all the way to third after that error throw. And from that one, instead of being on first, he's going to be on third base, and that is once again going to be Charlie Campbell. So call that a single with an error involved. He would have just been at first otherwise without that throwing error. So 2 errors on that one, and that was a swing and a miss for that one. A nice cut from Beauregard, but could not hit the ball, as it'll be strike 1. So don't have to change that for Mr. Beauregard. He did get the single in the last inning. He got a score off of that as well. Second one's going to be low for the ball 1. First time infield out in the second inning. Beauregard also had some success with a single and a double, but got caught stealing as that one is foul left, and it's going to be, just inside. Was he able to catch it? He did have the opportunity, but I don't see a call, so it will be just a long shot, strike as it goes to the right. Nevertheless, so he stays alive at 1-2 for Beauregard. So Canton Beauregard, next delivery inside, and that will not find anything except for the ball call. So that'll make it 2-2. We're going to calm down a little bit, actually a lot, as that one goes to the left, and it'll be just in front of Weezer as that one goes to Ryan Weezer, gets it into play, but not before the single happens for Beauregard. So last two at bats he's had a single. Coming up next is going to be the top of the order, and that'll be Glendo. Actually, there was an error on that one, so got to count that from the last time he was up. And already with a quick steal, it's going to be Beauregard showing his wheels off. That one goes across for the strike. We've got 1-1 against Galindo. That one goes high for ball 2. So Guano still pitching for, actually no, that's right, they changed it. So that is Pondo. Tries to steal for third and is successful, does throw to third, but not in time. And that will get, because it seemed like that was just a heads-up play from Beauregard. Actually, that should mean that 1 run has scored. Let me double check though. As Campbell was at third, so he probably already has scored. This means that Beauregard is at third as well. Still have the count for Galindo, and here he hits it to the left. He's going to go back to the wall, and it hits the wall, and it will be foul. That's a lucky break for the Lovington Wildcats, as that would have been at least a double, if not a triple, and it would have cleared the base at third. So nicely hit, almost a home run, but instead a foul ball. And the count now should be at 2-2. And actually, it was 3-2. And that'll be a walk for Galindo. So runners on the corners with one out. And coming up next will be Jet Fuentes. Fuentes is a junior. Has scored off a home run in the first, and that's going to be a blooper. He's going to go try to get it to first in time. Will be thrown to third. And that'll be safe. But tried it nicely, but just could not get more than just one out. As that'll be Jet Fuentes on the force out. Actually, the fielder's choice for out number 2. Also, though, gets an RBI as Galindo goes to third, and it shall be Beauregard who scores for 8-1 for the score. First one's going to be ball. As that one goes across, it'll be for Jack Byers. Byers has had a single in the last at bat, had a double in the first, and flew out in the third. That goes across for another ball. So 2-0. So it seems like the pitches on both sides are getting a little faster. Jack, though, and that swung on and missed for strike 1. Already counted 2-1. Going to get a little break as Jack holds off for a second, gets back in the box. And a quick delivery. Going to get that out. And that is going to be bye-bye as that one goes out of here for a 2-run home run to the left or left center. And that is going to be hit for the home run. Yeah, he could. All he has to do now is get the triple, and he hits for the cycle. Not likely going to happen, but would be interesting to see as he adds 2 more on it. And now the game is at 10-1. And now we're looking at the fact of a mercy rule possible as we are in the 5th inning. So that first one's going to be outside for the ball call. So it is Dayan Pacheco up next. And already first 2 delivered fast, 2-0. The game getting close to a mercy rule ending. We got the hit to right center. It looks like in a running grab, he's able to get that one to go for Lujan, and that will be out number 3 as he catches that one near center field. But that'll mean a 10-1 game as it is. Let's see. Let's do a little math here. We got the home run, of course. So that's 3 hits. It'll be 4 runs come across, 3 hits. I believe there was 1 left on base and 2 errors in that one alone. So we end up going to the bottom of the 5th, and it is not quite 10, but it is 10-1, 9-run lead for Artesia Bulldogs, and Lovington will come up next as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network. All right, so that's going to be coming up with Paredes is going to be coming up next. Last time up, he had a single and ended up getting a run to come across. So we are in the bottom of the fifth, 9-run lead for Artesia. The first one's going to go off and be a ball as that one goes low off the glove and goes to the backstop. So a lot of bats need to be happening for Lovington this time around. Does foul it to the left as it dribbles off. It will be 1-1 for the count. Auden Paredes. So plenty of opportunities, but definitely didn't take most of it is Lovington as that one goes outside for the ball call. 2-1 is the count. Morales is pitching strong still. This one goes across, and that'll be a strike. 2-2 now for the count. Should have been a swing on, but instead watched go by, and as it was a fast one. Here we go again, and a swing on, and will be fouled to save Paredes. But did make contact, so we'll stay alive. 2-2. Delivery again. A little high on that one. Actually got the corner on that one. That was me high, but instead caught up the strike in the zone, and out number 1 is what we're looking at. So coming up next, it's going to be Madrid. And he has not been up but just once, and he struck out the last time. And that one goes across for the strike. Ducked a little bit, did Jude, but couldn't buy that one as a ball as it went down the pike for a strike. 0-1. Delivered once again, puts Jude down 0-2, and he is behind on the count once again as he was before with a strikeout. Morales pitching strong as he does it again. This one hit back to him. Will be bobbled by the second base player and not in time as it is Madrid who was able to run it out and be able to get that head of the throw from Beauregard to Dalen Pacheco. So a nice single for Madrid. It's been a while since they've had a single, I believe. At least the third inning. Nope, there it is. So Paredes was able to get the last single in the third. Going to go across, though, and find the zone. Yeah, that breaking ball hit for the strike. So it looks like it'll be top of the order. It'll be Gutierrez batting. 0-1. Can't believe that he didn't run, but he didn't. He didn't take advantage of that as that was thrown to first, bobbled, and it went into the outfield just a little bit. So didn't get the out. Almost got the steal on that one, but instead we'll go to 0-1. Morales throws again, swing and a miss, and that'll be strike number 2. So Gutierrez down on the count again, and that's what a lot of the Wildcats have been looking at is 0-2. Hard to hit out of that and be successful. 1 on. Going to hit that one, and it's going to be in the gap into outfield, right field. And that should be an easy double, if not maybe a triple. Let's see what happens as he stops running, and he's going to go ahead and get the RBI. Thought about running again, but he's going to go ahead and run back to second. Going to be content with that. So a RBI double is for Gutierrez and brings the score across. And that, of course, is going to be Jude Madrid. So 10-2 is what the score is right now. Bottom of the 5th. Now we have an 8-run difference. And that's what you got to do, one step at a time. Get one run in, but definitely got to make the most out of your opportunity. Coming up next is going to be Ryan Weiser. Weezer has had struck out in the first and also walked in the second and the third. That one goes outside for the curve and the ball. So 1-0 is the count right now. So we're under the lights right now for Lovington. Going to get another delivery. Going to get that one hit right over to third. They're going to throw it straight to first, and that will be in time for the out. Out number 2 did not advance the runner either, as he was stuck at second. So that'll be out number 2 with one on. And that will put the pitcher now, Mike Bondo, who has had a single and got to second at his last bat. That was in the third inning. So Mike trying to get his effort, maybe even help himself. He's going to need a lot of help, though, as he gets this first one. Swings it inside, does get it over to third. It's going to be thrown to first, and that'll be in time, as that'll be out number 3. Bondo wasn't able to get to the base in time for the 5-3. But that does get at least one run to come across, and that was off of one hit, a double. Let's see, double check to make sure. Let's see, that was one double. Left one on base, no errors. One hit, one run. And that means we're going to go to the top of the 6th. We have an 8-run difference, 10-2, Artesia in the lead, and they're coming up to bat next. Of course, Lovington will be playing defense right here as we continue coverage on the No Mark Broadcasting Network on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on KZOR, the Facebook page. There's a pitching change as the 8th grader Jude Madrid is going to come out and pitch relief. As we go to the top of the 6th, Bulldogs are still in the lead by 8 now. Looks like everything else is similar. Pondo did go to third. See, as I look at that. So that is 12. Let's see. 12 is Pondo. Okay, so he's at third now. Oops. So it is no longer Paredes. It is Pondo at third, and we'll get the rest of that in a moment. First pitch comes across from Madrid, the 8th grader, and that'll be a strike. I mean, a ball. I wish it was a strike, but it was a ball. So that'll be against Usher Wood. So 3-0 already. Hit on a 3-0 count. That'll be foul and out of play. And as we get to a 3-1 count now, gets back into it. That was also going to be foul. Full count. So last two have been fouls. Same area, too. So just when they were getting that first ball, hopefully they didn't get hit by that second ball. That one's going to go inside, and a walk is going to be issued from the first one for the relief pitcher. It'll be Madrid.
Bat for the Bulldogs, number 16, Jet Whitmire.
So Jet Whitmire strolls up. Last time he had a single and scored off of that. Actually, he's had 2 singles today. That's bunt attempt, but I think because he was leaning in, he did not get that hit by pitch, but he is going to be checked to see if he's okay because it did hit him. Looks like he is going to get to first after all. So, looked like the leg is where it hit him. Nevertheless, though, hit by pitch off that bunt, and there are going to be a conference to confirm it. And that is going to, well, we'll see it here in a second. So we won't change anything except for that. Top of the 6th, we're going to get a bit of break. I'm going to take a little bit of a break as well. Be back in a moment with more right here on the Lovington Network. So that one's coming back after all. So it's not a hit by pitch. It will still be a foul. So it'll be, instead of a walk to first, it'll be a strike. And a quick throw to first just to make sure that he's awake, and Usherwood is. Gets back in time. So he's going to go ahead and take that lead and go to first. Nice throw, but not in time, as he wasn't able to get it towards the bag. So does get the steal, did Usherwood. And the count will go, looks like it, to 1-1. Nope, 0-2. So that last one was a strike. So Whitmire looked at that strike. That one is going to go inside, and that is going to be the ball. So 1-2 for the count. As it is right now, one runner on second, so runner in scoring position with no outs. And we are on the top of the 6th. Going to go deep, and looks like it could be another one. Yep, he's going to fly out again to center. So that is Whitmire out at center. Actually, that is his first time doing that. I'm thinking about somebody else. So 1 out, 1 on, as the runner is at second. That is Usherwood. That's the one who, oh, never mind. But that is the one who's going to be on at second after that steal. Coming up next is going to be Diego Morales, who's been pitching very well, but flew out to left field last time. So 1 on, 1 out. Thought about throwing, but didn't really have anybody there to field it. And we'll go back as there's another big lead pitch, and the first one's going to be ball 1. So Diego Morales, once again, actually has not been on base. Has flown out twice to left. That time, though, getting a foul shot. It's going to go to the backdrop. Stop, back stop. I always do that once. And will be 1-1 for the count. So Morales is throwing excellently. Just struggling at the bat right now. So he crosses himself, gets ready for another pitch. Coming from the 8th grader. Looks back. Delivers. Going to be swung on and once again fouled, this time to the right. Out of play, and gets it to 1-2. So 1-2 is the count. Looking back to second. Delivers. Hits that one in a wild pitch. It's going to get him to third easily. And nothing more than that. So does put it to scoring position for Usherwood to third. Morales, on the other hand, still on at bat, 2-2. Swings on that one and foul also, and he knows it, but it is out of play, so it doesn't get, isn't able to be caught. So it keeps the count at 2-2. We're about to get a nice sunset right behind us. So the sun will not be a factor anymore. High ball, and that'll be full count for 3-2. They have lost the handle on that one just a little bit, trying too hard to try to get it across for the strike, but instead gets the ball. So Diego Morales, full count, here we go. Now the foul ball, this time it's going to go to the stands. And out of play. So again, 1 on, 1 out. And full count. That is going to be walk as it goes to ball number 4. And it looked like it was a high ball, just to not find the strike zone. So Morales gets on for the first time in this game.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 8, Charlie Campbell.
And so Charlie Campbell III is going to come up. And has flown out twice and did get on once from an E5 and did score. Still though, 1 on and 1 out at third. First one though is going to be a ball. So 1-0 is the count. So once again, Madrid on the mound. McKillop is catching as that one is going to first, and not in time to get the out. Morales still at first, trying to get the steal, and will go ahead and advance. That one is going to be jacked to left. Going to get that one underneath. Weezer is going to get that in time, try to throw it at home before the runner gets across, not in time. And that is going to advance the runner, as that was a sacrifice fly out for Charlie, this time to 7. Does get the RBI fly out. Out number 2 though. But does increase the lead once again to 9. And does get, looks like that is Galindo. No. Whitmire scores. So Morales still at first, 2 outs. Morales is going to steal and get that one easily. No, didn't even try. So uncontested to second. As Beauregard hits this one deep. Looks like it's going to be right center. And it looks like it's going to go to the wall. Going to score 1 as he gets around 2. Stops, puts on the brakes, and goes to second. Could have probably been to third, but nevertheless, though, is satisfied with the double. As that is also going to be an RBI, and that'll be putting it now to 12. So we are in a 10-run lead for Artesia. That means that Artesia could end this in the 6th inning if Lovington isn't able to get back those extra runs and get it under 10 for the top of the 7th. Nevertheless, though, we are still in the top of the 6th. And it is Galindo once again swinging a miss on that one. First one, strike 1. All right, as we continue on, let's see, that was strike 1. Looking back to second, going to go ahead and deliver this one, and it's going to be foul ball. So it looks like the count is now 0-2, and that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure about that. So 0-2 at the count. is going to be for Galindo. But I've seen him hit before with this count. But this time around, though, doesn't have to worry about it. Once again, hit in the back, probably around the lower back area. Nevertheless, though, will be to first as the 8th grader tries to hurl that one, and instead, though, hits the batter unintentionally. So 2 outs, 2 on. Coming up next will be Jet Fuentes, who had a fielder's choice and ended up getting the out number 2 in the last inning. Also got a single with a run and a home run in the first. So the home run hitting Fuentes, the shortstop, with 2 on. And once again, we are at the 10-run rule. That's going to be throw to third, and that's me. Looks like it's in time. Yes, it is. Morales is out at third. And yeah, that is the throw out that Lovington wanted, but not in time, but as a couple of runs have come across. But caught stealing at third will be the 3rd out. So that was 1 left on base for Artesia off of 1 hit. So it's 1 hit and 2 runs come across. So we're at do or die time. If Lovington doesn't score in this inning, it'll be over with as we get up, and no errors as well. So, yep, could be the last inning for Lovington unless they score. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on KZUR, the Facebook page. All right, we are back. Lovington trying to stretch it out to 1 more inning as we are down to 10 rule, mercy rule. And if Lovington is unable to get anything going in this inning, that will be the end of it in the top or the bottom of the 6th. However, though, they still have some opportunity to do so to get back into this. First one coming up is going to be, looks like, see, I do have, it looks like a new batter.
Coming up to bat for the Lovington Wildcats, number 14.
Cole McKillop. So Cole can be batting for the first time for, looks like, Sepulveda. So let's see what he can do as the first one is delivered. Also looks like, is that a new, oh, let's see. Yeah, Charlie Campbell is in for pitcher right now. So in delivery, or in relief, Charlie Campbell. And that'll be strike number 2 for Charlie and for the Bulldogs, as it is McKillop who is on right now. Let's see if I can get his numbers before he gets swung on and missed. That is going to be strike 3 for McKillop. And number 14 goes down swinging.
Now coming up to
Actually,
bat for
he
the
doesn't have
Lovington
any
Wildcats,
numbers
number
for
18, Antonio
that.
Divinger
So
Miller.
first strikeout for Charlie, the 3rd. Coming up next, looks like we got a new batter as well. Another new batter. going to be Antonio Mina, the senior. So the senior let's see, also has 8 runs and 1 walk. So I think he's a relief runner more than he is a batter. So let's see what we can do with the stick as he gets the first one to come across. It will be ball 1. So Charlie Campbell on the mound right now. Throws a little hard and actually does get the strike zone on that one. Looked like it was a little low, but found the strike zone for 1-1. So 2 more outs and this game will be over. Swing and a miss though, and that'll be strike number 2. And Lovington still looking to see if they can get somebody on, but that is not the way to do it. 1-2 is the count as we're getting to sunset. And that one is in the ground. That's what I thought I saw last time around, but instead, definitely going to be the ball. So 2-2 is the call. So we got 2-2, nobody out. I'm sorry, 1 out, nobody on. Campbell going to deliver, and that one strikes him out looking, and I thought that was, again, pretty decent, but not strikeout material. But that was the second strikeout in a row for Campbell. So far, Campbell, the third, is doing what he needs to do in relief. And 2 down so far, 1 more to go, as it'll be a new batter once again. It'll be Caden Mitchell, senior, to try his luck to see if he can get past Mitchell. It'll be 8 on 8. Morales looking strong as he had 6 good innings, or 5 good innings actually, as we're in the 6th. So that'll be 8, and the first one's going to go just off for ball 1. There we go. Cade Mitchell, though, is the senior. And he's hit, oh, that's Hernandez. So fastball across the pike for a strike on that one. 1-1 is the count. That's strange. That one goes across and strike 2. And my goodness, already we're at the pinnacle point. Could be the game here if Caden Mitchell is unable to get anything going. Just missed a corner on that one, so ball. So count is at 2-2. So Mitchell with the 2-2 count. First time up at bat for the day. And it's all on his shoulders right now as Campbell is throwing some spectacular heaters in relief. And that's going to be outside, though. Didn't chase. And goes to 3-2, full count. So a little life left in the Wildcats, as the Bulldogs have been roaring, growling all day long. Here we go, as that one gets hit. And it could be shortstop, over to first. And is that going to be in time? It is. Rung up for the 6-3, and that'll be out number 3 as well. And Mercy Rule ending in the 6 as we go only 6, not to the 7. And that will be the end of the game. Final score 12-2. Lovington Wildcats fall again, and they go to the record of 11-12 and 1-5 in district. Meanwhile, number 1 Artesia goes to 17-6 on the record and 6-0 on the season for the district games. Coming up next for Artesia is going to be a single for Portales, followed by a doubleheader that'll be in Artesia. Of course, the first game is going to be in Portales, looks like. Actually, no, sorry, Goddard. Goddard's be next up. Goddard first. It's going to be 1 game in Goddard and then 2 in Artesia as they face against Goddard. And of course, that'll be on May 1st and May 2nd. Meanwhile, it'll be Portales will be the opponent for the Lovington Wildcats. That'll be on May 1st, and that'll be in Portales for that 1 game. And then the doubleheader will be here in Lovington. That'll be covered by, of course, the network, and should be called by TJ Miracle, who I am taking over for, and at least for today anyway. Very nicely done. And let's see if we can talk about anything else, as it was Morales who gets that victory and Guana who gets the unfortunate loss for the Wildcats. Be back in a moment with more as we continue coverage and the wrap-up right here on the Lovington Wildcats. Once again, losers of the second game, 12-10, and saw that happening with the streak going now to 7. Their record against the team is 1-35. And it is hard to beat a team like Artesia. We'll be back in a moment, and we can't beat coverage like this. Of course, we also can't beat our sponsors, whom we see on the bottom of the screen. Without those, we would not be able to have this coverage. We have live coverage from No More Broadcasting. Be back in a moment. All right. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors, without whom we would not be able to get these on the air. Thanks again for watching, whether it's on KZUR on the Facebook page. We also have it on YouTube and on HobbsAmerica.com. First game, of course, unfortunately does not go the Cats' way, and neither did the second. And lost 2 against a hot Artesia team. And actually, I saw them play Hobbs, and they did well against them and beat them 2 as well for this season. So Lovington held their own for a while, but unable to complete the game, and goes down by 2. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, as well as Tiff and A.B. Stuber back at the station, making sure all this is going on and able to watch it. As the sun has set, I am going to be going out of here and going home. Hope you have a great night out there. And once again, remember, Lovington games are going to be going on May 1st and 2nd in Portales. We hope that you'll be there as well. In the meantime, though, I'm Ron Gunner. Thank you much for being here, and have a good night.